This is a case that explains the limits of self-defense and provocation in Ghanaian criminal law. The year is 1972. A man called LAMPTEY, better known by his alias, MOROCCO, stood trial for the grisly murder of a 60-year-old watchman named Brima. On 10th November 1972, MOROCCO was convicted by the High Court. The prosecution relied mainly on MOROCCO's own voluntary statements made to the police. His brother-in-law, Emmanuel LAMPTEY, and another watchman, Bukari, also testified against him. In his statements to the police, MOROCCO revealed his true motive behind his actions. He believed Brima had once had an affair with his wife. They had settled that dispute in 1968, but 4 years later, MOROCCO saw Brima in a lively conversation with his wife. He warned Brima not to rekindle any illicit affairs. 5 days later, the two crossed paths again. This time, Brima rained insults on MOROCCO, especially invectives using the F word against his mother. MOROCCO fired back, and the insults escalated to a violent fight. MOROCCO claimed that Brima struck him on the head with a club and had drawn a cutlass to cut him. He then wrestled the club from Brima to defend himself from the cutlass, and in that struggle, he struck Brima on the head. The blow floored Brima, and MOROCCO fled the scene, carrying away both weapons. Emmanuel, MOROCCO's in-law, testified that around 6:15 a.m., MOROCCO burst into his room, breathless, with a cutlass. He told him that he had fought with the watchman at the school park and suspected that the man was dead. Bukari, the other watchman, also testified. He heard shouts of men fighting. From about 150 yards away, he saw a man on the ground being hit by another, who then fled. When he reached the spot, he found Brima dead. With this evidence, MOROCCO was convicted of murder and sentenced to death, but he appealed on 8 grounds. His lawyers argued the trial judge failed to properly direct the jury on the law of self-defense. The Court of Appeal explained the principle. Self-defense is the right to protect your person against a criminal attack. You may use reasonable force to expel or prevent an attack. Section 37 of Act 29 sets out the statutory foundation. A person may use force to defend themselves and avert a crime, and it is a complete defense. But the law distinguishes if the force used is not likely to cause death, then that force may be justified if it is reasonably necessary. But if the force used is likely to cause death, then the law demands proof of extreme necessity. But what is extreme necessity? The court gave examples. If a man's back is to the wall in an enclosed space, facing a raised cutlass or a heavy club aimed at his head, killing may just be justified. But if there is a safe opportunity for retreat, killing cannot be justified. If a murderous assailant has been disarmed or disabled so that he cannot immediately continue, killing cannot be justified. Still, the court warned that the mere chance to retreat or to disarm does not always end the right to kill. If retreat itself will expose you to further danger, an extreme necessity may still apply. Applying these rules to MOROCCO's case, the court found his claim very weak. Doctors had found no contusion or head injury to support his story of being struck by a club. He only had a minor finger injury. Meanwhile, Brima had been struck multiple times, the fractured collarbone and skull. Bukari's testimony also showed that MOROCCO was in charge and on top of Brima, striking him. Self-defense therefore could not save Brima, as there did not appear to be any extreme necessity for the actions he took. But the court considered another defense. Insults directed at MOROCCO's mother, combined with the unlawful assault, would have deprived him of self-control. This was provocation. Provocation in law reduces murder to manslaughter. The court quashed the murder conviction. Instead, MOROCCO was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 3 years imprisonment, spared from the death penalty, which still applied at the time. So what do you think? Did MOROCCO deserve mercy, or should the murder conviction have stood? Follow Super Law GH Studios for more real stories, real cases, real people.